Here's a supplementary lesson for review of rational functions, and the inverse of one-to-one functions. Let's take the significant concepts of rational functions as first part of our review. What is a rational function? A rational function is simply the quotient of two polynomial functions, wherein the denominator is not equal to 0. The denominator of a rational function should not be equal to 0. Why? If the denominator of a rational function is equal to 0, the quotient will become undefined, thus making the rational function likewise undefined in that case. What are asymptotes? Asymptotes are lines that tell us about the behavior of functions. They are characterized by imaginary lines that the graph of a function approaches but not touches. Any rational function has at most one horizontal asymptote, but can have many vertical asymptotes. What are vertical asymptotes? Vertical asymptotes are vertical lines which correspond to the zeros of the denominator of a rational function. The graph will have a vertical asymptote at x equals a, if the denominator is 0 at x equals a, and the numerator isn't 0 at x equals a. What is a horizontal asymptote? A horizontal asymptote is a line on a graph that the output of a rational function gets ever closer, but never touches. If n is less than m, then the x-axis or the line y equals 0, is the horizontal asymptote. If n is equal to m, then the line y equals n over m, is the horizontal asymptote. If n is greater than m, there will be no horizontal asymptote. What are x and y-intercepts of a rational function? The y-intercept of a rational function is a point where the graph of the rational function intersects the y-axis. The x-intercept, also known as 0, or roots of a function, are points where the graph intersects the x-axis. Rational functions can have 0, 1, or multiple x-intercepts. How do you find the x and y-intercepts of a rational function? To find the y-intercept, the point where the graph crosses the y-axis, substitute 0 for x and solve for y or f of x. To find the x-intercept, the point where the graph crosses the x-axis, and also known as zeros, substitute 0 for y and solve for x. And for the review tasks, find the vertical and horizontal asymptotes of the following. Also determine the x and y-intercepts. Thank you. And here's hoping that you learned something meaningful from this simple lesson review.